Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Let's look ahead to the UCLA Bruins.
My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
If you are part of the 95% of our audience that is not subscribed, please consider doing so. Thank you. How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing really good. Been a busy week, man. How about you?
Oh, it's been a busy week. Absolutely, for sure. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah versus Weber State game. What's your takeaways on that game?
Well, the offense was lackluster. I think we all kind of expected the Utes to come out and just score 65 or 70 points on Weber State. Really kind of truck them. The defense looked phenomenal. They only gave up the one touchdown, and that was realistically after like one busted defensive play where he got like a 45-yard run. He ended up kind of jamming it in the end zone, but the offense, we're going to need more from them. And the defense looked really good. I think it was a really good game for the University of Utah to get some more reps under some of these second and third string players and continue to get ready for a very talented UCLA team this week.
Yeah, let's go ahead and definitely jump into that. I do want to point out that I'm noticing a little bit more of the first quarter offensive woes for the Utes that we were hoping not to see this season. I'm starting to see that we may have something kind of like that brewing so far this year. Hopefully we see them right the ship as they enter conference play. Let's go ahead and pivot to that. So we have Utah ranked number 11th from 12th up to number 11th this week. They are 3-0 beginning their Pac-12 play against their first ranked opponent of the year, which is the UCLA Bruins, ranked at 22nd. What's your first thoughts about this game?
This is going to be a great one, man. This is going to be a really good football game. This is two really talented football teams. We've said it in previous episodes, but Rice-Eccles Stadium is a very, very difficult place to play football. It is going to be a factor against this UCLA team who has a freshman quarterback. And don't get me wrong, Dante Moore has been fantastic through the first three games. Great, playing great football. Scary good football. But he hasn't played an environment like this, and he hasn't played against a Utah defense that is going to be ready to run and get all over him.
100% agree. It's going to be a good game. On that note, the Bruins have not won a game in Rice-Eccles Stadium since 2015. Moore, the freshman quarterback from UCLA, he was 10 years old the last time the UCLA Bruins won in Salt Lake City. So, and also the Utes have won 16 straight home games going back to their 2018 loss against the Huskies there. So, it's definitely going to be a tough place to play. The numbers back it up, and if you've ever been to a game at Rice-Eccles Stadium, right?
Absolutely. It's loud, it's intense. The crowd is into every single play, and especially if they get going, it's deafening. I mean, the altitude's going to get to you. I mean, just all the combined factors, dude. The Utes get rowdy when you're in Rice-Eccles Stadium.
So as far as the spread on this one here, we got the over-under at 51. Are you taking the over-under on that one?
Ooh, I'm going to have to go under on 51. I don't believe the UCLA offense will be able to produce as many points as they have in these last couple of weeks. This is going to be a much different defense than the three kind of gimme games that they had scheduled before meeting our Utah Utes.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the Utes favored to win. They have a 4.5 points favorites in this one. I actually have another over-under for you. I'm going to throw this one at you kind of as a lateral here. I'm going to set it at 21. Over-under, do the Utes hold the UCLA offense under 21 points this week?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Even though they've had this just ridiculously prolific offense, 300 yards in the first game, 550 yards in the second game, 614 yards in their third game, you would think these guys are really tuned up and ready to go. But none of the teams they have played are going to rush the quarterback, have lockdown corners, and have linebackers that are going to be blitzing you every couple of plays and putting this freshman quarterback in a really, really difficult situation.
Gonna have to agree with you there. Did you hear Witt's comments this week in his Monday press conference?
I kind of saw the headline on the article, but I don't know how deep I read into it. What's going on with that, man?
Okay, so this is interesting. So apparently a lot of Bruins writers and a lot of people down in Southern California are taking a little bit of a slight towards Witt's comments. This is what he said in a press conference on Monday. Typically you have offensively and defensively 35, 36 guys that you figure in prominently on what you're doing. We are down 16 of those and have 20 left. It starts to get really thin. Like I said before, I'm sure nobody cares. I'm sure UCLA is very thankful that we're beat up. This rubbed a lot of the Bruins beat writers saying that that's a slight towards UCLA from the University of Utah. What do you think on that? Is that just Kyle Whittingham doing a little bit of gamesmanship there, or do you think he meant ill will by it?
I don't think he meant any ill will. That's just not who Kyle Whittingham is. I think he meant it just kind of like he said it, dude. If you're the UCLA Bruins, you are very happy that you're not going against a full-strength University of Utah football offense or football defense. The offense is prolific when Cam Rising's there, and you have Brant Keithy back on the defensive side of the ball. When you have Connor O'Toole back, Samote Pepa, Junior Tafuna, that defense is a lot tougher, a lot faster, a lot bigger, a lot stronger. And this UCLA team is going to struggle if any of those guys are back. So, I think he was just being honest, man. That's my opinion.
I think it's a little bit of gamesmanship there. I think he knows. I think he's just trying to put a little bit of false confidence in Chip Kelly's subconscious there, to kind of give himself a little bit of an edge. Try to keep him, like you mentioned in a previous episode, just make him, instead of having to plan for one quarterback, two quarterbacks, might as well make him plan for all three, right? So, I just think if he meant anything intentionally by it, I think he just simply is just trying to lower the expectations of the Bruins to really come out there and shock them. Because even with, being down 16 of your best players, this Utah defense is elite, and it's still, like I said, in my opinion, the best defense in the Pac-12 easily. So, go ahead and give me your key takeaway for this game. What's the key piece for you that either puts UCLA or the Utes on top this week?
I think I kind of mentioned it before, but I'm going to go with offensive play for the Utes. Whether it's Cam Rising in there running the offense or Nate Johnson coming in to run the offense, they've got to be able to sustain drives and, put together some runs, run some clock off, get that defense off of the field for sustained amounts of time so that they can get a breather, come in and be able to play 100% against this UCLA offense that's been prolific in the first 3 games of the season. It's going to be very important for them to, again, just continue to keep that keep that defense off of the field. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense there. Yeah. For me, what we talked about before goes back to how the UCLA Bruins haven't really played anybody yet this year. Their 3 games have basically been right-in wins. They haven't played anybody from a Power 5 conference. They haven't really had to deal with any elite competitive defense so far this season. The exact opposite can be said for the University of Utah. They have played 2 teams from P5 conferences. I think that's going to be my key takeaway there, is that UCLA hasn't really played anybody. It isn't going to be ready for this stacked Utah defense. I don't think their offense is going to hold out. I think Utah has been tested enough with its second and third string quarterback in order to basically come away with a win this week. I absolutely agree. Playing a really talented Florida team, a really talented Baylor team, and then, the tune-up game against Weber State is going to put this Utah football team in a much better position to go out there and get a win against this Pac-12 opponent. All right. Well, once again, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is available as a podcast. It is available wherever podcasts can be heard. If you'd like to see the full episode of what we talked about today, it's also available on YouTube underneath podcasts. You'll see the playlist at the end of the video. Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like it, make sure you share it, and make sure you hit subscribe. On some of the other videos we talk about a giveaway we're doing, make sure you check it out. Absolutely. Once again, folks, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap. Till next time.